Alright, so let's try the other one. The Tuz 16, what can you do on this road? Definitely handles better on hard road and dirt roads than the Warthog. Turn the tire spin down a little bit. I don't know about the Warthog. I really didn't. I don't remember, but on this one you can get a loading crane. So this may be an option, because it seems to be doing okay. I forgot to fill it up with gas. I actually forgot about these two vehicles. They were at the bottom of my vehicle list. Yeah, I might be able to run these two in tandem. Let this one lead the way and pull the Warthog behind it. Keep it on the road. I have to try them with chain tires, see how they do. I'm hitting all the bigger rocks on purpose, see if I can tip it. Because I remember when I first got it, I put the chain tires on and tried to go someplace and tipped it twice and put it back in the garage and never did drive it again. So your main 100% profile got corrupted before Yukon, so you had to mod your money back and buy all the trucks back. So these two were the only ones in the garage. See, I play on, well, the Xbox One, and I've only had one time where I had a vehicle and got out of the game and came back and the vehicle was gone. It just totally disappeared. Don't know where it went to. Never could find it on any of the maps. It wasn't lost in space up in the sky. It was just absolutely gone. I don't know what happened to it. But that's the only problem that I've had so far with vehicles. I did have one playthrough, in my other playthrough, where you have the the vehicle glitch that you can leave a vehicle someplace, jump back to the garage, get out of the game, come back in, you get a duplicate. Well, I did that in a playthrough, but it wasn't the playthrough that I was playing at the time, and I deleted that playthrough because I felt like I was cheating. But at some point, well, no, let's go ahead and take him. Let's go and take the first one in line. But anyway, at some point, I got in the game and I was playing and I was looking for one of my trucks and I couldn't find it. And it was down at the bottom of my list. It was the Navistar. And I'm like, why is it at the bottom of the list? And I know I didn't retain it. So I was driving it and went over to another, it's like 2 maps away, but it was over in Russia. I was on the, can't even think of the name of it now. The first map you go into in Russia. And then I jumped over to I drove over to the map that has the other garage. And sitting outside the garage was another Navistar. So I don't know how that happened. And I got to thinking about it, and I don't ever remember jumping back to the garage at any point, leaving a vehicle, jumping back to the garage, and then getting out of the game. So the game does have a few glitches. Like right here, I was trying to get the steel over there, and I had the steel in the factory, and I tried to load the steel onto the manual loading dock, and 3 times it put regular steel out there instead of the rolled steel, even though that's what I wanted. So that one's a little glitchy too, so can't do any manual loading from there. Has to be auto loaded. But I'm sure they'll get them all worked out. Probably the next update, next patch, everything will be fixed. And I had considered, because I heard that there were a couple of glitches, and then when I found the glitch about where you can put one truck inside the loading zone and jump to a totally different truck and load it. So you've got cargo flying all across the map and loading into a different truck. I started to stop and wait till they patched everything and fixed it. But I did, and I wanted to experience both of these maps in the hardcore mode. And I didn't want to have to wait for an update. Yeah, but that glitch is the ultimate cheat. It'd be a good glitch to use in my speed run, which I will not be doing. But yeah, it'll definitely make delivering cargo a lot faster. And I'm surprised I haven't seen anybody on YouTube. I haven't really looked, but just in casual searches, haven't seen anybody else talking about that. Better start looking at the fuel gauges. Oh, you did with that glitch? Yeah. It's like I said, I'm surprised that I haven't seen anybody talking about it. That's all the cargo for the next part of the delivery. You up here out of the way. Oh, now you want to slow down. Okay, I need to stop a second. I've got to get to... Oh. Sorry, I've got to get the sweatshirt off. Alright, had a sweatshirt on, it was starting to burn me up. Wrong one. There we go. White Western Star, I believe was in... Nope. But we'll take that one. And then the Voron 5 number. We'll see how these trucks compare to each other. And I've got to get gas. Don't forget gas. And I'm going to have to tow that back over pretty soon to get it refueled. Throwing up the mud. is it, buddy? Cat's ears perked up. Let me look. Nope, everything's alright. Had to look out the window real quick. Cat was looking out that way, and that's where my son's truck is parked. So make sure nobody's messing with it. He's a merchant marine, and he just went out to, he's based in the Gulf of Mexico and works 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off for a big company that moves things like oil and gasoline and stuff like that on barges. And I'm not talking about little barges like you would see in a river. I'm talking about huge barges. But he went out for a month because they sent them to Oregon, his whole crew, because they got a new ship coming out of the shipyard, and they want them to crew it to bring it back to the Gulf. And he's excited about that because they're going to be the crew on that ship. And like I said, brand new one. And I've got Moby with me. Moby is his big white Suburban. We call it Moby Dick. It's a great white whale. But it's too big for my driveway. It won't fit in the driveway from the edge of the sidewalk to my garage doors. It's about 5 inches too long. So I've got to park it next to the road. So I had to check and make sure some idiot didn't come and smash into it. Because it is snowing where I'm at. I didn't know it was snowing. So that'll be fun in the morning. Of course, I could take Moby. Moby is 4-wheel drive. My little S10's 2-wheel drive, but I live in West Virginia, and we get a lot of snow, but where I live, we don't get as much because we're in a valley. So I've never had any problem with snow with my truck. I just throw some sandbags in the back, weight the back end down, and I'm fine. Had a couple of years ago, I had a Dodge 1500 and had a little bit of a lift kit on it, and had some fairly good sized tires on it. And I bought the truck. It needed some engine work and needed some transmission work, but I bought it because it was a 98 model, and it had absolutely no rust on it, and all of the body panels were perfect. So I bought it, and I could still drive it, but like I said, transmission slipping a little bit. But I had it sitting out by the road, and had my wife's Jeep and had my car in the garage, and my neighbor was parked behind me, and a drunk driver came over the railroad tracks and slammed into my neighbor's truck, and then went all down the side of my truck. Just pretty much destroyed the whole side of it. And turns out he had no driver's license, no insurance, no registration, sticker was bad, and it wasn't even his truck, it was his brother's truck. So his brother shows up a little while later, and you know, the guy had, after he hit my vehicles, his truck was sitting in my driveway because it was totaled. So his brother, and he walks off. And when I went to get my neighbor, he just up and walked off to his uncle's house. And the brother shows up about 45 minutes later and tells the cops that the truck was stolen. Yeah, I don't think so. So ended up with nothing out of that except my truck being totaled, my neighbor's truck being totaled, and a piece of junk sitting in my driveway. That one. And I see that guy every now and then. He's driving another truck. And I know he doesn't have insurance or license or anything. But he come over the railroad tracks, he had a flat tire. And in my little town, you know, the roads are, it's a 2-lane road, but 1 lane everybody parks in. So you can't pass 2 vehicles, you gotta pull off the side of the road and let somebody pass you, and then you can get back on the road. But he come over those railroad tracks in a 20-mile-an-hour zone, probably doing about 70, with a left front tire that was blown. So I figure he had already gotten in an accident somewhere else, and he was running. And I found out later on that the police officer, we have 2 police officers in our town, and the one that responded was actually a friend of the family. So he no longer works for the town though, which is a good thing. There you go. Now we're moving. I like this truck. It's one of my favorite trucks. Especially when you're in an area that's, you know, not a winter map, but has a lot of mud. Put the mud tires on here. This thing will go about any place. And it carries a decent amount of fuel. Check in the high gear so you quit slowing down on me. And it goes to high gear relatively easily. You don't have to be going that fast. I don't think I've even decked it out, have I? Nope. I gotta put some accessories in here. As soon as I get some money, because I'm running low. Easy. You're stable, but you're not that stable. Be going that fast. Have you noticed when you get closer to an end of a big mission, you tend to take more chances and go a little bit too fast? one more to go. And we will have that part of the mission done. And I just need... Oh, wow. I need 6 more bricks and 1 more concrete slab, and this part will be finished. So I did leave the 2 cabins, excuse me, from the last mission. I left them loaded up, but I did take 2 extra cabins over there and dropped them off. Who was on the Caterpillar? A&K? Yeah. Ooh, I don't like that. Very leany. But I do have the active suspension on here. Do I have it activated? Yes. So we'll activate it through here, and then I'll put it back down. Gas, thank you very much. I didn't even look at the gas tank. I'm turning into my wife. She never looks at the gas tank. Nope. Let's get the A&K down here. So 31, and I'll go ahead and fill it all the way up. Oh. Didn't want to go to you. Stop. There you are. Yeah, A&K, you've always got to look at the gas. And I failed to do that. Which I wouldn't mind seeing a small roof rack on this one. But it'd probably do better to have just a bigger fuel tank. And I remember, I don't know. I remember when I drove these in the military, they had a bigger fuel tank on each side. Because it's basically a 5-ton cargo truck. And I'm thinking they were 35 or 40 gallon tanks on each side. I think the only one that had the 25 gallon fuel tanks were the semi trucks. And yeah, I know in the description it says that this vehicle only comes like this, and that they did not make a semi version. They did make a semi version of this. I drove them. There were not a lot of them made. I need to slow down. I'm just digging myself in. You gotta go slower to go fast. Oh, wait a minute. I said I wanted to move that suspension back down. There we go. Once I get out of the deep snow, make it a little more stable. And maybe I should have done that after I crossed this mud hole. But we're through it now. Well, maybe we do need to raise it up. You're not doing very good at all in the mud. Of course, it could be driver error. And let's drop it back down. Because I don't want to give Tippy John here any reasons to go over. There we go. Yeah, I was just thinking, we went one time out to the National Training Center out in California when I was stationed at Fort Stewart, Georgia, because we were a desert unit, so that's where we did our training, and we had a young guy. He was a PFC, private first class. He knew everything. You couldn't tell him anything. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. And we convinced him that when he got his vehicle out there, he had to let the Georgia air out of the tires and put the California air in it, because it would make them run better, because Georgia had high humidity and California had no humidity, so he'd get a smoother ride. And then we took his air hose out of his truck, so he went and let all the air out of his tires and couldn't put air back into it. Okay, who was next? I think I got about everything out here. Was it the... Nope, Azov's over there. Well, let's just look at the map. Come on. Sometimes the map does not want to move. Oh, the Kodiak. Yeah. Where's my Kodiak? I missed it. There it is. So this one isn't part of the mission. This is part of the other one, but since it's loaded up, I might as well take it on out there. Ooh. That's a heavy load, because the Center point of the cargo is right over the rear drive wheels. Makes the front end come off the ground. Which is okay for lighter loads, but for heavy loads, could be a problem. I'm hoping it'll show up the other trucks. But that's just wasting time. Let's go ahead and winch it. I think it would have got through there without winching. It would have just took forever. Let's go down into gear. Jay, you talk about somebody that was mad when he found out that we were just messing with him. Oh, he was so mad. I was out there for 3 months. I was part of the advanced team. And we actually had to drive vehicles from... Everything was rail loaded out, put on train cars and sent out, except for 6, 7, 8 vehicles. 8 vehicles had to be driven out, and mine was picked to be one of them. So I had a semi-trailer with a lowboy, and I had 2 forklifts on it, because they wanted to see how long it would actually take us to drive out. And it freaking took us 2 weeks to drive out there. Because you could only drive 4 hours a day consecutive. And then you had to take a break. After the 3rd day, we figured out how to do it, and we would take off at 8 o'clock at night and drive for 4 hours till midnight. And then that started a new day, so we could drive another 4 hours, and then we'd spend all of that day and the next day till 8 o'clock in a certain place. And we made sure that, you know, we figured it out, so we stopped in good places that had some entertainment, which back then meant good bars. Yeah, it took us forever to get out there. And then crossing the Rocky Mountains, that was a pain in the butt. A couple of those passes, we actually had to offload the forklifts, drive the truck up, and then drive the forklifts up individual. But it was a fun trip. But spent 3 months out there. Yeah, it was almost 3 months. Because there were 3 rotations going out. So we stayed out there for the entirety of the field exercise. And part of my job was I had a fuel handler's card. So I would go and get, about once a week, I'd go and get fuel, fill up my diesel tanker. And I remember coming back one day, and there'd been a little bit of a rain shower, and didn't think much of it. I mean, to me it was nothing. But the right side of my truck hit a big washout, and it blew all 4 tires on the right side of the trailer. So I dropped the trailer off, and it was about 15 miles to my unit. So went there, got a some spare tires off some other vehicles, got a wrecker. A couple of mechanics went back out to get the tanker, and somebody had stolen the tanker. Right on the military base. We never did find that tanker. We pretty much figured that that tanker went straight to the paint shop. Got a new coat of paint on it and some different numbers. That's okay, we made up for it in the end, because when we rail loaded all of our equipment back, everything at Fort Stewart was sand collared, desert sand. And we got one train car that had 4 Hummers on it, MP style, and they were all camouflage. And as we're taking them off the rail car, we were told to take them straight to the paint shop and get them painted sand colored. They stole our tanker, we steal their trucks. That was the old army. Can't do that kind of crap now, from what I understand. Okay, so I can't deliver this yet. I need to get bricks. I need 6 more. So we'll just... Oh. Okay, truck didn't do too bad. Bogged down a little bit, but not bad. Especially for what it is. I mean... Yeah, I don't think it was actually ever intended to haul heavy loads like this. So we have... Was it the Voron? Yeah, the Voron. So the Voron has the other 2 bricks, and I have 4 bricks sitting up at the plant. We'll get those in a moment, but I want to try this with the chain tires on it. I don't think I've driven this vehicle over here with chain tires. Or, yeah, I think I've kept mud tires on it. So let's see how it does with these. Sitting there so lonely. I should take it down here to where the Voron grad is. Let them talk to each other so they wouldn't be lonely, but I really don't care. I don't like the Voron grad. I know people talk about it, they like it. I just don't. I don't think it's as good as the other 2 Vorons. So I saw something earlier on Twitch that kind of shocked me. I was just looking through, seeing, if there's anybody that I follow, see if they were playing anything. And it's about an hour and a half before I started my stream, and found this girl young girl, and she's looked like she's in her 20s, but and she's sitting on her bed and she's wearing lingerie, and she's just chatting with another girl, and they're talking about sexual positions and all kinds of stuff. And I didn't think they allowed that kind of stuff here on Twitch. But I mean, they're being very graphic about it. Slow you down a little bit. Yeah, but that was definitely for mature audiences. But then looking at the chat, I watched it for about 5 minutes. And what fascinated me was the chat. There were people getting on there telling her to do this and do that and lay on your stomach, and like, you know, this is just weird. Change my truck. Let's fill you up with gas. Change it again, and let's get you to the top of the mountain. Alright, so Burton says to take this path over here, which if it works will forever be known as the Burton Trail. And if it doesn't work, will forever be known as the Burton Trail. So I hope I'm doing this right. And it does seem to be faster. Let's get you geared down a little bit. I think I can reach, yep. Maybe I should go a little further out here. I wonder how far I can go out. Ah. So you come out here on the big rocks. Yeah, it's getting a little deep, but not deep enough to stop me. Slow the wheels down a little bit. So that's where I'd normally go up over there, but I want to see if I can take this all the way around. Oh, that is so much easier. Man, now I feel foolish for wasting my time going the other way when I could have come this way. Burton, you're awesome. That is my new path, taking the Burton Trail. You're going to have to make some videos to show people this stuff. Some of the shortcuts, the easier way to do things. And again, I might be the only idiot doing it the hard way. Avoid that. And that's what I get for not exploring more. I found a path, and I stayed on the path, and I need to be checking out other paths. Oop, oop. You should fit through there with no problems. And then again, yep, you're good. Get out of this rut. Alright, so let's see what you'll do in this thick mud. That's what I should have done with you. Damn. Let's climb up on that rock a little bit. Hey, watch those claws. Yeah, let's go here. There we go. Gas. I don't think I have much left in the 750. I think I used it all. Wow, it looks dead over here. That's alright. I will fill it up with trucks in the next episode, and we will get this mission completed. And what I'm going to do in the next episode is, like I said, finish this, and then we're going back to Russia to complete the tasks in Russia that we need to do, and may jump to Alaska and do those also, just for a little bit of a break. And get those done so that when we do finish with the next map, we will be finished with everything. So for those of you watching on Twitch, thank you very much. Appreciate your support on Twitch. Appreciate you commenting and talking to me while I'm doing this. And for those of y'all on YouTube, let me know what you think. Leave me some comments. Let me know how I'm doing. and I will see you in the next episode. So, whoop, that's a wrong one. Still the wrong one. Let's move you. Well, let's just attach it manually. There we go. So I will see you in the next episode, and until then, have a good one.